And I would like to just let you know that everything was not consensual, sir. Please don't say that. It was not consensual. Even Diddy admitted.
This is the defense team, man. Let's answer the question.
Yes, but he did allegedly.
All right, Queen. All right, Queen.
We are planning to appeal.
Man, I want to hear them, bro.
We are planning to appeal. We think we have strong bases to appeal.
For decades, Sean Diddy Combs built an image around one thing: power. The parties, the money, the connections. The ability to walk into almost any room and become the most important person inside it. But prison has a way of stripping all of that away. And now, while his legal team continues fighting over his sentence, another disturbing allegation has surfaced outside those walls. A new lawsuit, a former child actor, and accusations tied to an encounter allegedly dating back nearly 2 decades. But that may not even be the part of this story people are watching most closely. Because while lawyers battle over Diddy's future, questions are growing about what is happening to him inside prison.
Filed in the state of California, the former child actor claims Combs guided him into a back room during that networking event to speak to him privately about some potential opportunities, including a project Combs was producing. According to the lawsuit, after beginning to feel the effects of the drink offered to him by Combs, the minor said Combs began to touch him despite telling him that he didn't feel comfortable, adding, Combs pulled down his pants and began to touch his genitalia while Combs was touching himself.
The latest legal threat comes from an unidentified former child actor. According to the lawsuit described in reports, the accuser claims he attended a networking event in 2007, where an opportunity to discuss his career allegedly turned into something far more disturbing. The lawsuit claims Combs invited him into a private area to talk about possible entertainment projects. Then, according to the accuser, he was offered a drink. What allegedly happened afterward is now at the center of the case. These are allegations. They have not simply gone unanswered. Combs' representatives have denied accusations of sexual assault and characterized claims against him as attempts to capitalize on his legal troubles. But the timing could hardly be more explosive, because this lawsuit did not arrive when Diddy was standing at the height of his empire. It arrived when that empire was already fractured.
Criminal defense attorney Adam Conta, who was with us live from the federal courthouse for many, many weeks as that trial went on, and for the verdict and understanding everything that was happening. But Adam, thank you so much for joining us. And what do you make of this latest change? Because how do you get in trouble and then it gets shortened?
Yeah, no, I think it's just two very separate issues that are easy to put together because it's sort of happening close in time. I think they're completely unrelated, though. I think he got into an incident that actually landed him in solitary confinement, which is obviously the most restrictive, the most harsh form of imprisonment that we have in our society. And then right after that, it comes out that his sentence has been reduced and reduced again. But I think that there's a very simple answer for this. One is that defendants get good time on their sentences. And so sometimes sentences just get reduced for general good credit, essentially. But this is more specific. He, as part of this whole case, he said during a sentencing, that he let sort of drugs and alcohol and excess get in the way of his life. And so he sort of established with like the ketamine and the MDMA that drugs were at least part of what was going on here. And so when he got to Fort Dix, the prison he's in New Jersey, the federal prison he's in, he entered into what's called RDEP, a residential drug abuse program. It's offered to many defendants in situations like this. And if you complete that program, you can get up to a year taken off your sentence. And so that hasn't necessarily been reported as what's definitely happening, but I really, really would be surprised if it's anything other than those
Diddy's
two things.
criminal case ended with a complicated verdict. He was acquitted of the most serious charges brought against him, while being convicted on lesser federal counts involving transportation connected to prostitution. Then came prison. Then came the sentence. And then something happened that confused people watching from the outside. His projected time behind bars reportedly began changing. Online, suspicion moved faster than explanation. Was Diddy receiving special treatment? Was celebrity influence somehow following him into federal custody? Or was there a far less dramatic explanation?
What the situation was with that. I mean, the reality is he's a very famous inmate. That makes him a target for a lot of other inmates. And we don't know if he was provoked, if the other person was the main target. We don't know anything really surrounding those facts. And so if you take that kind of out as just sort of an incident that happens and you look at everything else, you have to assume that he's doing everything that the program is requiring. And a lot of that is just, quite honestly, just self-reflective work that you would see in a lot of treatment programs on the outside, but they're just offered this benefit while they're incarcerated.
Okay, so there's also this kind of ongoing appeal, and then the denial, and then the appeal of the denial. I reached out to his representative and I said, what's your response to the story that has been out about the time being taken down, and what's the status of this appeal? And the spokesperson for Diddy told me, quote, "At this point, we do not have the necessary information to respond with any clarity," end quote. Can you translate that for us?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to appeal. They're trying to appeal the sentence because he was really only convicted of two things, right? The 2 counts of engaging in prostitution that crossed state lines, engaging in transportation for the purposes of prostitution, meaning that they found that prostitutes were driven across state lines for these freak-offs. The main point of the appeal is that the defense team says that the judge, in sentencing him to 50 months, which is a high sentence for those 2 charges, that sentencing him to those 50 months, the judge relied on these claims that these workers were forced, coerced, and really did all these things against their will. And that really wasn't what he was found guilty of. And that wasn't really the evidence that was presented at trial that the jury relied on in order to get to their verdict. And so, the judge is essentially saying, listen, I'm allowed to rely on relevant conduct. Even if he was acquitted, I can rely on relevant conduct to take that into consideration when I sentence. And so the judge is essentially saying, I think he did bad things, and even if he wasn't convicted of them, I can still take that into consideration when I'm sentencing someone for these crimes.
According to the legal analysis presented in the source material, sentence reductions can result from ordinary federal prison mechanisms, including good time credits and qualifying treatment programs. That explanation matters, because without it, a routine correctional process can easily become fuel for conspiracy. But even with that explanation, another problem remained. Reports were beginning to describe Diddy's prison experience as anything but routine.
His release date now, after the latest reduction, is scheduled for January 24th of 2028. So we're talking about 18 months.
Right.
The legal system just doesn't work that fast to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
So ultimately, what he would be doing is try to sort of do an appeal to clear his name and reputation more than functionally reducing his sentence, I think.
Right. Exactly. And anything we should be watching for in this, or do you think it's just gonna play out, or maybe they'll time out the clock on it? The feds, the court.
Well, I think we're going to keep beating the same drum because it's the one that the public will certainly resonate with. If nothing else, I mean, listen, Diddy has surrounded himself with very smart people. He's got really smart attorneys. He also has really, really savvy media. And maybe the goal isn't the goal here. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the goal here isn't to actually get him out early, but it's to keep saying in public he's being punished for crimes he was acquitted of. Right. You know, that's how you build a comeback story. That's how you build an underdog. That's how you get the public maybe back on your side. I have no idea if that's anyone's goal here, but that's certainly at least a possibility of what their ulterior sort of motivations for kind of keep doing this would be, even if they think that the reduction of a prison sentence
outside prison, fame creates distance, security, private entrances, VIP rooms, people whose entire job is making sure nobody gets too close. Inside prison, fame can do the opposite. It can make you impossible to ignore. A legal commentator discussing Diddy's incarceration raised exactly that possibility. Someone this recognizable could become a target. And that distinction is important, because reports of an altercation do not automatically tell us who started it. They do not establish motive. And they certainly do not prove the darker rumors that began circulating online.
Yeah, I wonder if Puffy has a boyfriend right now in jail. What do you think?
I believe Puffy may have engaged in some activity.
Right. They say the inmates, they fight each other over the right to make his bed in the morning.
Anybody doing that is participating in the activity. If that's true, like, I don't know. I don't think Puffy would have to say that. But what do you think about that phone call?
Which one?
With him and his son.
Nah, I didn't hear it.
What, you didn't, come on.
Nah, I didn't hear it. But which phone call?
Who does your research for you? Just you?
Nah, I got an assistant.
Yeah, you need to talk to him.
Okay.
The prison called him and his son when he's talking about, is Jay-Z getting back to you? Not responding. Then he said, okay. Everybody out there quiet all of a sudden, huh? He said, yeah, he said, don't worry about it. He said, yo, such and such want to know what to do about his car note. He told him, yo, man, tell him to go host a show or something. Don't he see what I'm dealing with? He said, but everybody's getting their laughs on, but we'll get the last laugh. It's a jail call. I don't know how you ain't got that, but it's crazy. Yeah. You got to come back to the 100-sided clubhouse.
Okay, yeah, whatever you want.
You got to come back.
Whatever you want, man. I've been on before.
This is content.
This is content.
Academics gives us our props. He tells us every morning,
Okay.
I go to the 100-sided clubhouse, replays, and get content. But yeah, that phone call was wild, bro.
I would check it out.
Yeah, it was wild. Like,
hold on. Let me see if I
it
can
gotta
find
be
it.
up. It's no way.
Hold on. Twitter's usually a good place for this. So
Yeah,
this
that
is
phone call was wild.
Diddy call.
Shell
with,
called
with,
to his son. One of
with
his sons.
Justin? Or
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, it was and I could tell he's kind of adapting. You know, I could hear the aggression and he like on some, you know, his mentality is changing.
Listen carefully to what is actually being said. Not certainty, uncertainty, nobody publicly explaining exactly what happened, nobody clearly establishing who initiated what. And that vacuum is where rumors thrive. Because when confirmed information disappears, the internet fills the silence.
We gotta give her a bottle then.
Combs' attorneys presented an 11-minute pre-produced video in court highlighting his family, career, and philanthropy. He wept as 6 of his children asked the judge for leniency. Combs' 18-year-old daughter, Delilah, pleading for a chance for her family to heal together. Combs then addressed the court himself, apologizing to his children and to Ventura. I lost my businesses, my career, destroyed my reputation, lost my self-respect. He told the judge, I've been humbled and broken to my core. I hate myself right now. Ultimately, the judge acknowledged the defense's characterization of Combs, but said a history of good works can't wash away the record of this case. And he ended by thanking the victims who testified, telling them, I am proud of you for coming to the court to tell the world what really happened.
And the judge previously said Combs' year spent in prison would count toward his time.
Stories began spreading online about alleged attacks, solitary confinement, Diddy's physical condition, even sensational health claims for which the source provides no verified evidence. Those claims should not be confused with established facts. But their existence reveals something important about Diddy's collapse. For years, his public image was carefully constructed. Now strangers online were constructing it for him. And perhaps the most revealing moment came through discussions surrounding an alleged jail call involving his son. People who listened claimed they heard something different in his voice, more frustration, more aggression, a man seemingly aware that people outside were laughing, and that some of the people he once expected to answer were suddenly quiet.
Obviously, just starting out his time, well, not just starting out, but starting out.
It does seem like it was an intimidation tactic, and it sounds like the guy could have obviously, again, hurt Diddy very badly, but chose not to for whatever reason.
To understand how dramatic that reversal became, go back to sentencing. The image presented inside that courtroom was almost the complete opposite of the Diddy America had known. His attorneys reportedly showed a video centered on his family, career, and philanthropy. His children appealed for mercy, and Combs himself expressed remorse and described the destruction of his career and reputation. The billionaire-level mythology was gone. In its place was a father asking a judge for mercy. According to accounts discussed publicly by people close to Diddy, he allegedly woke up during his detention with another inmate holding a weapon near his throat. The exact circumstances remain unclear. Who approached whom? What happened immediately afterward? Was it an attempted attack? An intimidation tactic? Something else entirely? The public record described in the source does not answer those questions. But the allegation alone painted a brutal picture. A man once surrounded by bodyguards, allegedly waking up completely vulnerable.
What was your problem with class?
Time Alicia Keys opens her mouth to a bad note, and people pretend like that bitch can really sing. We owe that to
Even